Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is part 2 of the Career Accelerator. Hi, my name is Chaka Serrant, and I am the Christian career strategist and negotiation coach. This is part 2 of my 21 tip Career Accelerator. This will help you position yourself to accelerate your career in the workplace. Let's jump right into tips 11 through 21. Yay! Tip 11, work-life coordination. Yes, I said it. Not work-life balance, work-life coordination. Why is it a coordination? Because honestly, it's not a balance. Because there's some weeks I might give my job 70 hours a week. And there's some weeks that I have to just give them the 40 or 35 that they need because things are happening in my work environment, right? So we always seek to have this balance, but it's just not realistic, right? It's how do we coordinate our work and our life so that we can able to be successful in both. And what I mean by that is I may need to start work at 7 a.m. in the morning before my son wakes up, right? Answer some emails, send out some documents. Once he wakes up, get him ready for school, drop him to school, come back, work, leave at 3 o'clock, pick him up from school, take him to a doctor's office, jump back on the laptop at 5 o'clock, and finish my workday at 8. Now, I was able to, one, be active in my son's life because I picked and dropped him off to school, took him to something that he's needed, like a doctor's appointment, and I was still able to put my 8 to 9 hours of work for the day and accomplish what I needed to do for the workplace. Now, yes, that seems like a lot, but flexibility was really key for me in any job that I had. So my ability to have the option to flex when I need to, when something important happens at home, was very meaningful to me. So figure out what you need to make your work-life coordination most effective so that you're successful at work and at home. Tip number 12 is switch companies. Let me say that a little louder. Switch companies, honey. Listen, we sometimes think that I need to be dedicated to this company. They're good to me, we're comfortable. And I'm not saying that the company has not been good for you, but one of the most important ways, or the easiest ways to accelerate your career from a position and a financial perspective, is switching companies. You can see a $20,000 to $40,000 pay increase when you switch companies that you will not see remaining in your current organization and just getting a promotion. Okay? Example time, because I like to give examples. I was working for an e-commerce luxury brand, and I was not in six figures at the time. During prayer, and then with confirmation with a prayer of a friend, God showed me and spoke to me about him switching me from my current job to a new company. So my season there ended. And I'm kind of flexible, right? Like if God says time is up, I'm like, all right, like I was content. There was some things that were not as great there. Something has shifted and gotten better. And it was my time to go. What me switching companies did at that time was it almost doubled my salary, and that was the first time in my career I hit a six-figure salary mark. Let that sink in. Because I switched companies, I made the six-figure mark. So switching companies is definitely a career accelerator tip that you need to consider. Tip number 13. Get certified. And I touched on this a bit when I said, keep learning. Now, within your area of expertise, or even kind of slightly or parallel work, look up certifications that is applicable to your industry and get certified. Why is this important? One, sometimes companies provide stipends or budgets to pay for you to get certified. So there was one time that I wanted to take a course to get a Scrum Master certification, which is the agile process of delivering software implementation. And I asked my manager at work, and they're like, oh, we should have budget. So guess what? I got certified, got time off to do the 3-day training, right? So I still got paid to do it. My company paid for the training, and I was able to get certified. So it made me more marketable in the workplace. It shows that I was, wanted to learn, and I got certified for free. Yes, honey, for free. It is possible. Tip number 14 for the Career Accelerator. So tip number 14, use job boards, right? So I know some of you may be familiar with Indeed, but one of my favorite job boards is LinkedIn. And with LinkedIn, what's key about LinkedIn is another mechanism to network. And wow, I have so many examples in my life for this because God has really propelled me. But the job that I mentioned to you where God pivoted my career and then my salary jumped and almost doubled. How did I get that job? Someone that I had worked with, let's go back now, since 2004. I worked with the person for a few months. We were connected on LinkedIn since, I don't remember when we got connected on LinkedIn, but we worked together for a few months. Fast forward to 2013, when God told me he was switching my career. I didn't go out there putting my resume in no one's lap. I didn't go out there looking at any company and what openings they had. The recruiter at this old colleague's company asked him if he can go through his LinkedIn profile and reach out to certain people he had worked with in the past, and I ended up being one of those. The recruiter asked me if I was interested in coming back in that industry. I said, I'm considering it. We can have a conversation and see where this goes. It took some months after the interview for me to get extended an offer, but if I did not have LinkedIn, I would not have had the opportunity to get asked if I wanted to consider coming back in the industry, and I would have not gotten the opportunity to almost double my salary with one company switch. So yeah, job boards are super important, and connecting with people that you've worked with in the past is extremely important. You don't have to speak to them every day. I hadn't even spoke to him in maybe 8 or 9 years at the time. And it still presented an opportunity that really pivoted and accelerated my career. Tip number 15, revive your resume. Oh my goodness, I have seen some resumes, and let me tell you, there is work to be done here. 1, your resume format. No bueno. 2, the way you describe your tasks. No bueno. 3, the grammatical and spelling errors. No bueno. And 4, unless you're in a super creative field, I don't want to see not one more picture on your resume. No, you don't need it. Not at all. Revive your resume. That list of accomplishments I talked about in part 1 of this video, take that and use that to revive and revamp your resume. Please, 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 please. That is the first thing recruiters and companies see about you. Let it speak for itself, honey. Please. Woo. Number 16, get a mentor. Now, I spoke about sponsors and advocates in tip number 1, but tip 16 is about a mentor. Now, this mentor, you could have more than one mentor, right? You could have 3 is a good number. And that person does not have to be in your organization. That person doesn't necessarily need to be in your industry or your career path. But the person needs to be at a level that you aspire to be one day. They need to possess the characteristics that you hope to glean from and become like. And you have to be willing to be patient, because typically those type of people are super busy. But a lot of times they want to give back, right? So find a mentor that you can pivot your ideas to. They can help you kind of formulate a plan, even for your career. They can help you if you're at a crossroads and you don't understand what to do. They can help you get clarity. And one of the key things that my mentor helped me do is when I, was ready to have certain negotiation discussions, I would speak to her about it, because this particular mentor was also in HR. And she understood some of it, even though she was not in my industry, but she understand the dynamics of human resources and was able to point me in the right direction and give me some tips that actually improve my negotiation skills. Tip number 17. So when you get that mentor, pay it forward and mentor other people. This is really important because 1, you can mentor people within your field. So now as you teach people what you know, you actually grow and you'll become better at what you do. And 2, it could not be that. It could just be, for me, I love talking to people about their ideas, whether it's career or entrepreneurial. So you're pouring into someone that is looking to you as a mentor for where they want to be, right? So giving back, you should always have a few people that you're giving back to, and you should also always have those mentors, a few people that's pulling you up to where they are. Tip number 18, and actually let me do a little recap real quick. So 11 is work-life coordination, 12 is switching companies, 13 is get certified, 14 is use job boards like LinkedIn, 15 is revive your resume, 16 is get a mentor, 17 is mentor others, and 18 is get new friends, honey. What did Drake say? No new friends? No, sometimes you need some new friends, okay? Because those friends that you have around you, some of y'all, may be the very person or people who are keeping you back. And let me tell you why. I had a friend who was really stuck in the poverty mindset, super insecure. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And when I would share with her certain things that I was excited about, maybe I got promotion or recognized, she actually came to me later on and said, "Oh, I thought you was just bragging about XYZ." And I'm like, "Well, why would I be bragging to you? You're like my best friend." That doesn't make any sense. I'm not showing off. I'm just like super excited that I was able to do this thing. But what happened was, there was a time where I was making some money, and then being a new Christian, you on fire for God. You just want to do God. You don't want to do nothing else. And she wasn't working, and I'm like, oh my God, she gets the opportunity to read the word and and listen to sermons, and I'm here at work and I want to do that. And honestly, you ever heard the phrase of, if you look at the sum total of your 5 or 7 people closest to you, that's kind of the average of what your salary income is. So if you got some friends, and I'm not saying all of them, because, it's a given. Friendships is a give and take situation, and some people will bring value to you. But there are some of them that you need to kind of let go of. And it's okay. Some people are not going to be at the next level that you need to be at. It is okay. Hold up. Rewind. Some people are not going to be at the level in which you are, and it's okay. So my tip is to get some new friends. I'm gonna leave that right there. Tip 19, take mental and physical breaks. So I get it. Work is intense, but you get refreshed ideas. You get to be revived, rejuvenated when you move your body, when you step away from the computer, when you step away from the task that you're doing, and you say, for example, go get your nails done, go get a pedicure. Like I went to get a manicure and pedicure one day, and in the Uber ride back, I came up with an idea for something that I wanted to do. And it's like, wow, I stepped away from it. I didn't, look at it for a couple of days, and now I got some refreshed ideas. So taking mental and physical break is super important. You may feel like sometimes, you're wasting time, or you're not, it's not actually helping you, but it actually is a tool to accelerate your career. Tip 20. We getting there. So tip 20 is set some goals, okay? You can't accelerate your career if you don't know where you want to go, honey. And I mean, yes, you can get somewhere, but like, how you gonna know where you got to if you ain't set nothing up? So even if it's like, you know what? I don't want to be in the office 5 days a week. I want to be in the office 3 days a week. You got to know that's what one of your goals are, right? Also, I make $50,000 right now. My goal is to hit $100,000. So now that you have the goal, you can now put some action steps in place from one of my 21 tips and help you accelerate that career. So you can't go nowhere if you don't got no goals, honey. You're going to stay where you are, close to where you are, right? And the last tip of the 21 Career Accelerators is on a spiritual tip, because I'm Christian, honey. Pray. And I mentioned it when I talked about one of the tips, is that, God allowed me to know when my season was over at a job. God granted me favor when I got another job. As soon as I walked through the door for the interview, I just heard the Holy Spirit say, and I'm going to give you favor with men. And I'm like, okay. And when I tell you those stories, God's word is true. I've had favor at that place for probably about 6 years. So pray about what your desire is. Ask God to remove it from you if that is not of Him. Ask Him to give you the understanding of the plans that He has for you. Ask Him to put His desires in your heart. Ask Him to show you the steps and the process to get there. Ask Him for the financial backing you may need. Ask Him for the advocates you may need. Ask Him for the mentors you may need. Oh, I got another story for that too. God is so amazing. Prayer is so amazing. It's so amazing. You will see results when you pray and you put the other 20 Career Accelerator tips that I shared with you in part 1 and part 2 of this video. So I hope this was super helpful to you. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check me over on Instagram at Chaka Serrant, and check out my website at chakaserrant.com. This was super fun working with you, and I hope that I hear from you soon. Be sure to leave some comments below, and I'll be quick to answer you. Have a good one. Bye.